Fame and controversy often go hand in hand, revealing the shocking truths behind the rise and fall of our most infamous celebrities. Ever wonder how stars like Justin Bieber go from teen idol to tabloid target? Or how J.K. Rowling, once beloved for her magical tales, became one of the Internet's most polarizing figures? From award-winning careers to shocking scandals, these celebrities have mastered both adoration and outrage. The twist? Many didn't just survive, they thrived on the backlash. Join us as we dive into the lives of stars who walk the tightrope of fame and controversy and uncover the surprising truths behind their rise to infamy. Number 1, Chris Pratt.
I've spent a good amount of time naked, yeah.
Yeah. Like even when you were a kid.
I was always getting naked.
How does the Internet's favorite Chris become its most controversial? The answer involves a talking raccoon, a dinosaur trainer, and a church. Chris Pratt's journey from lovable goofball to a controversial action star isn't just about career choices. It's a case study in how quickly public opinion can turn in the age of social media. This is a guy who went from living in a van to leading multiple billion-dollar franchises. But somewhere between Andy Dwyer and Star-Lord, something changed. Was it his divorce from Anna Faris? His rapid remarriage to Katherine Schwarzenegger? Or was it something deeper, like his connection to a church that many called anti-LGBTQ+? What most fans don't realize is that Pratt's controversies aren't really about him at all. They're about what he represents, a certain type of Hollywood Christianity that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. The worst Chris debates, the backlash to his Instagram post about his healthy daughter, the constant scrutiny of his political beliefs, it all points to a larger cultural divide that Pratt unwittingly became the face of. Number 2, Paris Hilton. That's hot. These syllables launched an empire. But that's not all. Paris Hilton isn't just an airhead heiress who got lucky. She's a calculating genius who tricked the entire world into underestimating her. Think about it. How does someone turn a leaked private tape into a billion-dollar brand? The answer is both simpler and more brilliant than anyone realized. Before the Kardashians were breaking the internet, Paris was writing the celebrity playbook they'd all follow. The baby voice, the catchphrases, the leaked videos, it was all carefully orchestrated. What most people don't know is that behind the scenes, Paris was making moves that would revolutionize influencer culture. That simple-minded party girl, she was filing trademarks and negotiating licensing deals between nightclub appearances. But the real story isn't about her success, it's about the price she paid for it. Between the boarding school trauma she recently revealed and the psychological toll of maintaining her character, the truth behind the glamour is darker than anyone suspected. Her friendship with Kim Kardashian wasn't just a pairing of socialites. It was a mentor-mentee relationship that would change celebrity culture forever. Number 3, Ja Rule.
A dude that I knew, that I fucked with, from Southside, came home from jail.
Remember when Ja Rule was on top of the world? Between 1999 and 2005, he had 7 Grammy nominations, 6 top 10 albums, and was featured on Jennifer Lopez's Biggest Hits. Fast forward to 2017, and he's being sued for $100 million over the biggest festival failure in history. But here's what everyone gets wrong about the Fyre Festival fiasco. It wasn't the beginning of Ja Rule's problems. It was the culmination. The real story starts with a feud that changed hip-hop forever. 50 Cent didn't just compete with Ja Rule, he made it his mission to destroy him. But what triggered such an intense rivalry? The answer involves a stolen chain, a stabbing in Atlanta, and believe it or not, the FBI. What most fans don't realize is that before the luxury festival disaster, Ja Rule was already fighting for his career survival. Between the Murder, Inc. federal investigation, the decline of his musical style in favor of Fiddy's harder-edged sound, and his unsuccessful attempts at an acting career, Ja was desperate for a comeback. The Fire Festival wasn't just a failed event, it was his last shot at relevance. Number 4, Miley Cyrus.
Like you don't know this song. Stay up for hours. Say things you don't understand.
When Miley Cyrus swung naked on a wrecking ball in 2013, parents worldwide clutched their pearls. But here's what they missed. That wrecking ball wasn't just breaking walls, it was smashing expectations. The real shock? This wasn't a star spiraling out of control. It was all part of a plan that had been in motion since her Hannah Montana days. How does someone go from Disney Channel sweetheart to twerking on Robin Thicke at the VMAs? The transformation was so shocking that people forgot to ask the most important question: why? Between the tongue-wagging, the provocative outfits, and that haircut, everyone was too busy being scandalized to notice the masterclass in celebrity reinvention happening right before their eyes. What most people don't know is that behind the scenes, Miley was fighting a battle that had nothing to do with her image. Her relationship with Liam Hemsworth wasn't just a Hollywood romance. It was a tug-of-war between who she was expected to be and who she wanted to become. The cultural appropriation accusations, the pansexual revelation, the country music comeback, each controversy was another step in a journey that nobody understood until it was over. Number 5, Lena Dunham.
The nepotism thing is ridiculous. It's like no one ever got a television show because their mother was like, an alternative.
In 2012, HBO called Lena Dunham the voice of her generation. By 2017, that same generation was begging her to be quiet. How does someone go from cultural revolutionary to cultural pariah in just 5 years? The answer involves a controversial memoir, a rescued dog, and an apology tour that somehow made everything worse. When Girls premiered, it was hailed as groundbreaking television. Finally, someone who was showing the messy, uncomfortable reality of being a 20-something in New York City. But as Dunham's star rose, so did the controversies. From problematic tweets to tone-deaf interviews, she seemed determined to test just how much goodwill she had left. The real question is, was it all just performance art gone wrong? What most critics missed was that Dunham's biggest crime wasn't her privilege or her provocations.
Tired of expensive, low-effort scriptwriters for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now.
It was her timing. Just as the social media was making us more conscious of representation and intersectionality, here was a woman who seemed to embody everything the internet had decided to hate. Her defense of a girls' writer accused of assault didn't just damage her reputation, it exposed the limits of white feminism in ways nobody saw coming. Number 6, Kanye West.
I still look at Pornhub and...
Once upon a time, Kanye West was known as the college dropout who changed hip-hop forever. Now, he's the man who managed to lose $1 billion in a single day. But here's what everyone gets wrong about Ye's downfall. It didn't start with the controversial tweets or the MAGA hat. The seeds were planted way back in 2009 with 9 words that would change everything. I'ma let you finish, but... From the college dropout to dropout from polite society, Kanye's journey is a masterclass of self-destruction. But what if I told you that his most controversial moments weren't random outbursts, but carefully planned moves in a game that only he understood? This is the same man who turned a hospitalization into a platinum album and a failed presidential bid into a billion-dollar fashion deal. What most fans don't realize is that behind the Twitter rants and bizarre interviews was a pattern that nobody saw coming. His evolution from Obama's favorite rapper to Trump's biggest fan wasn't just about politics. It was about something much deeper. The fashion industry blacklisting, the mental health struggles, the dissolution of his marriage to Kim Kardashian, it all connects in a way that will make you question everything you thought you knew about celebrity culture. Number 7, Anne Hathaway.
Ups, tricep curls, and,
But you're in phenomenal
bench-
shape right now.
bench kicks, I don't know.
How much?
Did you know that in 2013, at the height of her career, people were so annoyed with Anne Hathaway that they invented a word for it? Hatha-hate became an actual term, but the real question is why? This Oscar-winning actress went from America's sweetheart to public enemy number 1 faster than you can say it came true. On paper, Hathaway's story reads like a fairy tale. She conquered teen movies with The Princess Diaries, won an Oscar for Les Miserables, and even managed to make Meryl Streep seem unlikable in The Devil Wears Prada. But somewhere between the Academy Award and her marriage to Adam Schulman, the public decided they'd had enough. The reason? It might have something to do with a certain acceptance speech and what one anonymous industry insider called theater kid energy. What most people don't know is that behind the scenes, Hathaway was fighting a battle that had nothing to do with acting. Her relationship with conman Raffaello Folieri had ended in headlines about the Vatican, federal agents, and millions in stolen money. Yet somehow this real-life drama wasn't enough to win public sympathy. Instead, she was criticized for being too perfect, trying too hard, and the ultimate Hollywood sin, being inauthentic. Number 8, Adam Levine.
He better have something planned because my birthday is literally in... Oh my God!
From She Will Be Loved to She Will Be Demed, Adam Levine's fall from grace is a masterclass in how to tank your reputation in just 72 hours. But here's the twist. Those leaked DMs were just the tip of the iceberg. The real story starts way back in 2002, when a young Levine convinced his failing band to completely reinvent themselves. The result? Maroon 5's debut album, Songs About Jane, sold over 10 million copies worldwide. So how did the charming coach from The Voice end up being one of the most controversial figures in pop music? The answer involves a Victoria's Secret model, a viral cheating scandal, and believe it or not, a Super Bowl performance that changed everything. What most fans don't realize is that Levine's bad boy image wasn't an accident. It was carefully crafted over years. Between his revolving door of supermodel girlfriends and his sudden marriage to Behati Prinsloo, Levine crafted an image as music's resident Lothario. But when Instagram model Sumner Stroll exposed their alleged affair, even his most devoted fans had to ask, was the family man persona just another performance? The truth is, the DM scandal wasn't just about infidelity. It exposed a darker side of celebrity culture that nobody wants to talk about. Number 9, Rob Kardashian.
Choose one, the food or your phone. Either or. Either or. What's more important?
When his sisters were breaking the internet, Rob Kardashian was breaking away from the spotlight. But why? The answer involves a 100 million empire, a messy custody battle, and a sock line. Yes, you heard that right. Socks played a crucial role in this story. Here's what most fans don't know. Before the dramatic weight gain and retreat from public life, Rob was actually the family's golden child. With a business degree from USC and a runner-up spot on Dancing with the Stars, he was poised for Kardashian-level success. But then something happened in 2014 that changed everything. The media painted Rob as the black sheep, the failure, the Kardashian who couldn't keep up with the Kardashians. But they missed the biggest story of all, his silent battle with mental health and a type 2 diabetes diagnosis that nearly cost him his life. The real bombshell? His relationship with Blac Chyna wasn't just a romance, it was a calculated move that sent shockwaves through the Kardashian empire. Number 10, Justin Bieber.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn and everyone.
Justin Bieber's rise to fame really is a wild ride. Imagine being 13 years old, singing covers on YouTube, and suddenly becoming a global sensation. It all started when Scooter Braun stumbled across Bieber's videos in 2007. That random click led to Bieber becoming one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with over 150 million records sold by 2024. But while his success soared, fame came at a price, one that turned the world's sweetheart into a headline-making bad boy. The shift from singing Baby to drag racing in Miami felt like a shock to fans. But how did Bieber go from an innocent teen idol to a rebellious star? Here's the thing, growing up in the spotlight can be brutal. The pressures of fame, relentless media attention, and little time to just be a normal kid can push anyone to the edge. It all culminated in several public controversies. Remember when he abandoned a pet monkey in Germany? It sounds bizarre, but it was a reflection of a young celebrity who was overwhelmed, caught up in a whirlwind he couldn't control. Then came the real breaking point. Between the meltdowns, arrests, and strange tattoos, it seemed like Bieber's career was on the brink of collapse. But underneath it all was a teenager drowning in fame, unable to cope with the life thrust upon him. His recent battle with Lyme disease and his marriage to Hailey Baldwin added new layers to the story, showing the struggles of child stardom and revealing the toll fame takes, not just physically, but mentally. Stay tuned, we are halfway through the list. Number 11, Naomi Campbell.
Will be on my level. Do not compare yourself to me. When I worked for Gianni Versace, I never touched my...
Before there was throwing shade, there was throwing phones. And Naomi Campbell wrote the book on both. But here's what most people miss about the OG supermodel. Behind every controversy was a woman fighting to survive in an industry that wasn't built for her. Think about it. How does a black teenager from Streatham become one of the most recognizable faces in fashion history? The answer involves a phone, a few diamonds, and a modeling industry that would never be the same. What most people don't know is that for every headline about her temper, there was a silent battle against systemic racism in fashion. When Campbell threw that phone at her assistant in 2006, the media saw a diva tantrum. What they missed, though, was a woman who had spent decades being told she was just the black model, despite booking every major magazine cover and runway show. Between the violence accusations and the blood diamond testimony, everyone was too busy being scandalized to notice the door she was kicking down for future generations. The real story? It's not about the phones she threw or the tantrums she allegedly had. It's about how a black girl had to become difficult to become legendary. Number 12, 50 Cent.
You say on the stage, you have to come with me. I'm like, what? I'm like,
9 bullets couldn't kill him, but bankruptcy almost did. 50 Cent's story isn't just about survival. It's about how a Queens hustler turned getting shot into getting rich. But here's the plot twist. The real controversy isn't about the feuds or the fights. It's about how Curtis Jackson played the entire music industry. This is a guy who turned a mixtape into a bidding war, a vitamin water investment into $100 million, and his bankruptcy into an even bigger fortune. But between beefing with Ja Rule and trolling Floyd Mayweather, everyone missed the real story. What most fans don't realize is that every controversy, every feud, every Instagram troll post was part of a larger strategy. The G-Unit empire, the Power TV series, even his infamous "Get Rich or Die Tryin'" mantra, it was all building to something bigger. The truth, 50 Cent never stopped being a hustler. He just changed the game he was playing. From the streets of South Jamaica to the boardrooms of stars, he's been 10 steps ahead this whole time. Number 13, J.K. Rowling.
Was Harry, this boy who didn't know he was a wizard, who for 11 years had made very odd stuff happen.
J.K. Rowling's transformation from a universally beloved author to one of the internet's most polarizing figures is a story far deeper than the debate over transgender rights. It's about the clash between the artist and their audience in the digital age. Rowling once inspired a generation with stories of magic, bravery, and acceptance. But now her name sparks as much debate as her books once did excitement. So, how did we get here? Rowling's rise to fame is legendary. Starting as a struggling single mother writing in cafes, she penned a series that made her wealthier than the Queen. But over time, the image of this humble author began to change. Through her social media presence, particularly on Twitter, Rowling's view on gender and biological sex ignited a firestorm of controversy. The issue just wasn't the content of her tweets. It was the way they clashed with the values many readers found in her books. For years, fans had seen Hogwarts as a symbol of inclusivity and Rowling as someone who celebrated diversity. But her public comments felt like a contradiction to that, leading to disappointment and anger from those who grew up idolizing her. The real conflict, though, isn't just about bathrooms or biology. It's about what happens when readers, who once connected deeply with a story, discover that the person behind it doesn't align with their beliefs. Social media blurred the lines between Rowling, the author, and Rowling, the person. Suddenly, her every opinion became subject to scrutiny, and the once private act of storytelling became a public battleground. The death of the author idea, where a story is separated from its creator, died in the age of Twitter. Rowling's legacy, for better or worse, is now intertwined with her personal views. Number 14, Roseanne Barr.
Yeah. It's a nice show. Everyone's very nice. Yes, it's very nice here, isn't it? Yes, very. It's a nice place. It's cold.
One tweet. That's all it took to destroy legacy 3 decades in the making. But here's what everyone gets wrong about Roseanne Barr's downfall. It wasn't just about racism. It was about the collapse of the very image she had built of real America. Remember when Roseanne changed the game in the 80s and 90s? She wasn't just cracking jokes. She was a trailblazer representing the struggles of working-class families in a way that had never been done before. Her show wasn't just entertainment. It was a mirror for many Americans. Then, that one fateful tweet in 2018 happened. But here's what. It wasn't just a random outburst. Barr, over the years, had spiraled deeper into conspiracy theories and controversial opinions, leading up to this moment. The tweet, which contained racist undertones, wasn't an isolated incident, but the culmination of a persona that had blurred the lines between character and creator. What most people don't realize? The controversy wasn't just about the tweet. It was about the betrayal felt by millions who had seen her as a voice of reason for the struggling working class. They watched as their TV icon, who had once fought for them, became a symbol of the very divisions she had once opposed. The backlash wasn't just cancel culture. It was the end of an era. Number 15, Tom Cruise.
You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips.
One jump on Oprah's couch, that's where Tom Cruise's reputation started to take a nosedive. But the problem is, Cruise's controversies aren't really about his infamous sofa acrobatics or his connection to Scientology. They're about what happens when Hollywood's last true movie star tries to maintain an impossible image. Think about it. How does someone like Tom Cruise, who dominated action films for over 4 decades, stay on top in an age of superheroes and streaming services? His life is as meticulously planned as the stunts he performs in Mission Impossible. What most people don't realize is that Cruz's intensity, his relationships, and even his connection to Scientology are all parts of a bigger strategy to remain untouchable in a world where stars fade fast. But here's the catch. The iron grip on his image has made him one of the most polarizing figures in Hollywood. The more he controls, the less authentic he seems to his fans, and that's where the backlash begins. Between the awkward interviews, the secretive faith, and the cultivated moves, Cruz has become less a person and more a perfectly polished brand. Number 16, Charlie Hunnam.
It's all over the place, but for the last few months leading up to the holidays, I was in India.
Yeah, you were in India, and
Imagine turning down 50 Shades of Grey and a paycheck that would set you up for life. Charlie Hunnam didn't just do that, he did it twice. But here's what everyone misses about Hollywood's most reluctant heartthrob. His biggest controversy isn't what he's done, it's what he refuses to do. How does the guy who brought biker gangs to prime time become known for what he won't do rather than what he will do? What most people don't know is that behind that difficult reputation and those turned-down roles is an actor who's playing a longer game than anyone realizes. Between walking away from Christian Grey and his notorious avoidance of social media, everyone was too busy calling him unprofessional to notice he was actually redefining what it means to be a star in the age of overexposure. The real story isn't about the roles he's rejected. It's about an actor refusing to play the Hollywood game. His lack of ambition isn't about fear of success. It's about a different definition of it altogether. Number 17, Blake Lively.
Yes, it is. It's crazy. 6 years. We're finally done. I can't believe it. I literally moved out of my parents' house in Burbank.
From Upper East Side it girl to controversial book promoter, Blake Lively's journey proves that life sometimes imitates art. But here's the twist in this tale. Her biggest controversy isn't about what she's done. It's about what she doesn't seem to understand. How does an actress known for playing privileged characters become the face of misreading the room? The answer involves domestic abuse, hair care products, and the fine line between promotion and provocation. What most fans don't realize is that behind every perfectly curated Instagram post and red carpet appearance is a Hollywood machine that sometimes gets it catastrophically wrong. Between launching a lifestyle brand and becoming one half of a social media power couple with Ryan Reynolds, everyone missed the moment when Lively's perceived privilege became her biggest liability. The real story isn't about a tone-deaf movie promotion. It's about what happens when celebrities try to sell everything, including their understanding of serious issues. Her "It Ends With Us" controversy wasn't just a PR mishap. It was a masterclass in how not to promote a book about domestic violence. Number 18, Melania Trump.
I believe that it was the time that I tell my story and the truth.
From model to First Lady, Melania Trump's transformation was nothing short of dramatic. But while she played the role of the quiet, graceful counterpart to Donald Trump, her time in the spotlight has been anything but smooth. The backlash she faced wasn't just because of her husband's controversial presidency. It was because of the contradictions in her own public persona. Melania's Be Best campaign, focused on online bullying, raised eyebrows as critics pointed out the irony, considering Donald Trump's often inflammatory tweets. But the real backlash came from her perceived detachment from the role of First Lady. Her fashion choices, such as the infamous "I really don't care, do you?" jacket, only fueled the narrative that she was disengaged or out of touch with the struggles of everyday Americans. But here's what most people don't realize. Melania's controversies weren't just about her words or actions, they were about the mystery surrounding her. As First Lady, she remained a quiet enigma, which only made the public scrutinize her more. Was she complicit in her husband's divisive politics, or was she playing a different game entirely? The real story? It's not about whether she was the perfect First Lady. It's about how she became a symbol of the contradictions within the Trump presidency itself. And that's why the backlash stuck. Number 19, Travis Scott.
I just want to send out prayers to the ones that was lost last night.
It was November 2021 when tragedy struck the Ostro World Festival. But here's the thing, Scott wasn't just blamed for what happened on that given night. He became a symbol of all that is wrong with modern celebrity culture. So why does the backlash stick so solidly with him? Not about what happened that night. It was about how he reacted to it. In the wake of the crowd surge that killed 10 when one of his shows went fatally wrong, video footage shot within his line of sight during which he continued to perform as mayhem broke out around him was the main narrative. Scott's shows had been wild, even semi-out of control, for years. Fans were encouraged to rage, pushing limits way past what is considered safe at a concert. But here's the real twist. After the tragedy, instead of addressing the crisis head-on, Scott's response felt detached, with apologies that many found hollow. The public was quick to point out that his behavior wasn't just reckless, it was indicative of a celebrity culture that values spectacle over safety, attention over accountability. The backlash against Travis Scott didn't just hurt his career, it raised bigger questions about how we idolize performers and the cost of living in a world where the line between entertainment and responsibility is blurred. Was Scott simply a scapegoat for a tragedy, or is his story part of a larger critique of fame gone too far? Number 20, Ariana Grande.
For romance these days, are you? I'm engaged, girl. Girl, so yes.
From being a Nickelodeon celebrity to becoming a global pop icon, Ariana Grande has certainly had her dose of public scandal, but none hit quite as hard as the fallout following her marriage. But there was a twist, not so much about the divorce itself, but about her alleged intimate involvement with someone else's husband. How did she go from the picture of girl power to getting herself into a scandal that seemed to come right out of a soap opera? Since the Manchester bombing of her concert, Grande had always had a love-hate relationship with fame. But in 2023, rumors started doing the rounds regarding an alleged entanglement between the singer and married man Ethan Slater, while Grande herself was filing for divorce from her marriage partner Dalton Gomez. In an instant, people's perception of her changed overnight. Here's the twist. While the scandal certainly hurt her image, it also exposed a side of celebrity culture we don't talk about enough. How quickly narratives can flip. Grande, once celebrated for her ability to overcome personal tragedy, was now vilified for her personal choices. What most people miss is that Grande's story isn't just a tabloid scandal. It's a reflection of the complicated way we judge female celebrities, especially when it comes to their relationships. The backlash she faced wasn't just about infidelity. It was about how we elevate stars to impossible standards and tear them down when they fall short. Is Ariana Grande truly to blame, or is she just another victim of the celebrity cycle? As we conclude our journey through the highs and lows of these public figures, it's clear that fame comes with its fair share of challenges. Can you imagine living under the constant scrutiny of the spotlight, where every move is analyzed? While their talents have garnered immense praise, the controversies often leave us questioning their true characters. Which story resonated with you the most? Are you surprised by the reasons behind their public backlash? If you enjoy this exploration into the lives of these stars, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think deserves a second chance? Your voice matters. Let's discuss.